And to tell you frankly, for example, Ethiopia exports coffee, Ethiopia exports sesame. That is a huge, one of the, which is, I think, the government follows on that export side to bring foreign currency. But you know what they found out? Injera to be the steady one. Why? Because if you know, coffee is not, coffee is regulated by, mostly the market is regulated by international consumer. The same with sesame, but not injera. So for now, our consumers are Ethiopian, which is a diaspora. So because of that, we have a constant, and it is growing. And now it is $1 million business. Really, it is $1 million business. But when you do this, how often we export right now? We export every day. In fact, we also started exporting to the Middle East. We're exporting to Canada. And but until now, our destination is, our market segment, let me say, is the diaspora. Why is that? As an entrepreneur, this is what I have to tell you. Especially for those of you who are interested to export, when you try to export, whether US, whether it is Canada or Europe, you have two options. One option is the ethnic market. The ethnic market is not highly regulated. But the moment you want to venture to the big market, it is highly regulated. What does that mean? You have to be qualified, you have to be certified according to the regulation of that country that you would like to export. And just luckily, I have to say this, just luckily I got back after 10 days of training. Now I become the only from the private sector. There are other two from the regulated body. The FDA approved curriculum by FSSPA. I just become a lead instructor. I just got that last week. So with this, thank you. So with this, what it means, now I can expand my market. So with this certification, not with the certification that I have, but by having my company certified, now I can go to and sell it to major supermarkets, like Whole Foods, like Trader Joe's. There are markets, where you can sell. So that is also what you have to put in mind. As an entrepreneur, something I tell you, when you start your business, please think big.
That's good.
We think, by thinking big, it doesn't mean about the amount, or it doesn't mean about the dollar figure, about quality, which we don't pay too much attention in Ethiopia. Quality. In fact, honestly, now I wish I can be a spokesperson. I mean, especially when you see why we're having a lot of health problem in Ethiopia. Do you ask that question, honestly? It should come an answer from you. Lately I hear a lot of people having kidney issue. Do you ask why? Is it the food we are eating? Really, we have to ask that question. We need to start asking why we don't have label on our food. From a consumer, we need to do that. I tell you, again, coming back, I'm the first one to start putting a label on the injera that I'm selling locally in a supermarket. Because I want to take responsibility. If something happens, I want to be called. When I say 100%, I mean 100%. It's not adulterated. Because that is what's really happening in Ethiopia. So, from here, from this room, honestly, you have a big opportunity. If you think there are businesses, I think quality is lagging behind. So which means there is a big, big opportunity. And I hope from this room, when you start your business, it is not only the money you put aside, also you have to think about the quality issue that you're going to apply to your business.
It's amazing to hear that. This idea of dreaming big. Often some of you instantly thought dollar signs, right? And Rahel corrected you. No, think quality, because actually what quality does is add value to those that you're serving and those that you're employing and those that you're working with. And so I think that even is a mental note for us all to take away, is to think big. Should be about the value we're adding through the quality that we're providing through any of the businesses that we're looking to set up. Rahel, I've mentioned this to you before. Those countries you mentioned didn't include the UK or London. My mom is dying for you to start exporting to London. But one question I want to direct towards is around this idea of competition. Often I find in this ecosystem, in this playing field, often there isn't a healthy view of competition. If someone comes into the market, it's not, yes, this is good for the economy. It's actually, what can I do maybe to jeopardize them, or maybe it doesn't seem to be healthy. What is your view of competition, and how can we adopt a healthy mindset of competition?
You know, I just said about quality. The only way you meet quality is when you have competition. Because you know what? Otherwise, how am I going to say I'm better than X and Y? So competition for me is very healthy. But as you said, competition should not be in a very wrong way. Like somebody, just like defamation, saying like what you're not, that's not competition. But you know what? I produce injera. Somebody say, oh, you know what? I have to produce something better than her. That's competition, healthy competition. So I think for me that is, in fact, I want more competition.
Yeah.
And I tell you, in this field also, we are about 5 competitor companies. So, but again, the competition field gonna change. I tell you now in September. Now I told you before, it is an ethnic food. So because of that, there is no regulation. The FDA just once in a while, they open the box just to see that injera is injera. But now another rule is coming in September. So which means now I have to be certified to get my product to the US. So which means any importer who would like to import, they have to get my certification. Now becomes a real competition, which I think is a healthy competition. Because right now, even though like I said, about 5 competitors, there are small businesses, which I don't mind, as long as they do it the right way. But the problem is they export maybe 2, 3, and they stop. You know what they do? They spoil the market. But now with this, will be a good competition.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing to hear that. So I know there's people in this room thinking, injera, Europe. So I think that's a really great thing for us to hear, and it's something that I think I want us to continually think about, is this idea of competition and a healthy view of it, because we need that, as Rahel said, to make the market compete in a healthy way and increase the quality. So I would love to know kind of what for you is the dream kind of moving forwards. As you look at the future, is it, as many people we've had up here, it's either they're fully stuck in their business and then they're not interested maybe in other sectors, and then we've had others who are like, they're spinning 5 different plates. You obviously have the women's network that you're overseeing. What's your view of other things, and what does the future look like?
In regards to business?
In regards to business,
yeah. You just touched up about the AWEP, the African Women Entrepreneur Network, and in that one I said I'm the president. So because of that, also I have to wear another hat, which I don't mind. In fact, one of the members is here, Gannat. I tell you for a fact, when you're doing this network, you don't take, maybe you might, I'm not saying you are, but don't take it for granted. In fact, they said without network, it doesn't work. Really. Network is a key to a business growth. So please make sure, especially maybe with you guys it has changed, but most of the time in Ethiopian culture, which I really don't like, I love Ethiopia. When I say this, I really love it. It has nothing to do about Ethiopia, but there are some of our culture which I don't like. When we meet, most of the time it is very bad. We don't like to talk about what we do. We miss a big opportunity. So please, all the time, after the high and the bad, just talk about what you do. Through that, you don't know sometimes what kind of networking you're getting. That will shorten the distance you have to travel. And, as far as doing the business, what I see for the future, for me, it is not, of course, like any business, I want to be profitable. I want to make money. But more than that, my aspiration is, Ethiopia has such a great, great product. It is like hidden that the world needs to know. Just now, for example, teff, how many years we've been eating teff? But just recently, when, they talk about gluten-free, so now everybody talks about teff. We should be the one to research our own food, what we eat. Not because somebody says gluten-free now. We should know this long time ago. So I think there are a lot of, for those of you interested in food, there are a lot of food products that we can provide to the world. In fact, when I see this food on the supermarket, like processed food, for me I said, what a waste. Because there are so many natural products, natural food that we have in our country. So as far as the business, my aspiration, I want to be a leading in the gluten-free industry. And in fact, one day, I believe my company will be bought by a big company. Nice. That is my aspiration. That is what I'm working toward.
Incredible. I love that. Yeah, let's hear this.